Hey guys, welcome back to 2020 MMA. We're going to be doing a recap of the past UFC card and, of course, Bellator 238. Sorry for the late post. Had some stuff to do, but let's get into it. No more fooling around. I want to take a look at these cards. Alrighty then, let's get into the undercard of the UFC on ESPN Plus 24 card. Starting off with the first two fights that were actually the most exciting for me. Herbert Burns and Nate Landwehr. That was the first fight of the undercard. Really fun fight. Herbert Burns came out with the knockout dubs. Actually, really nice knee, finishing off with some punches to the ground. Great dubs for Burns. And then, of course, Brett Johns and Tony Gravely. I did not know who was going to win this fight. It was so back and forth with the submission attempts and the ground transitions. Eventually, Brett Johns did come out with the submission with about 2 minutes left, I believe, in the third round. Great dubs for Johns. I'm really excited to see where both these two guys go in moving into the future. Sarah McMahon, Lena Landsberg, really simple fight. McMahon basically took Landsberg down at will for 3 rounds, grinded out a decision. Props to McMahon from coming back from the pregnancy and really shutting down Landsberg completely. Montel Jackson, Felipe Colares, my favorite undercard fight going into the card. Montel Jackson did not disappoint. I'm really excited to see where he goes moving forward in the bantamweight division. Colares didn't really give him much of a fight. More of a fight than what I thought he would, but not a real challenge for Jackson. I want to see Jackson fight some top bantamweights moving forward. Justine Kish, Lucy Pudilova, not a very entertaining fight. I think the most memorable fact of this fight was the fact that it was unmemorable, if you know what I mean. But Justine Kish came out with the dubs, 3-round decision win over Lucy. Arnold Allen, Nick Lentz. This could have been a better fight if Josh Emmett hadn't got injured, but props to Nick Lentz for stepping up on short notice. He didn't really have much of a chance against Arnold Allen. He showed in this fight. Nick Lentz is a warrior, though, and that also did persevere through the fight. You can see it, but Arnold Allen just has that technical skill. Like, he was just a lot better than Nick Lentz, and hopefully we got that Emmett fight going down into the future. And of course, the main event of the undercard was Bevan Lewis, Daquan Townsend. Daquan coming down from 205 to 185 actually looks slower. I don't really understand. Maybe it was a bad weight cut, but Bevan Lewis really just grinded it out. A lot of clinch work in this fight. Nothing too exciting when it comes to the feet or any crazy, submission attempts. But Bevan Lewis really did do his job and got the dubs, 3 rounds for decision. Now, finally, we get to the main card. We had, starting off, Jamala Hill and Darko Stocic. I called a knockout win for Jamala Hill. Didn't happen. There were some interesting, scrambles at the start, but for the most part, it wasn't too entertaining like I thought it was going to be. Hill just really neutralized Stocic and came out with the decision dubs. Good for him. It'll be interesting to see where he goes moving forward. Women's strawweight bout, Angela Hill, Hannah Cyphers. Honestly, I had a feeling Hill would come out with the dubs. Her unorthodox style would give, Cyphers some troubles. I thought it would just be a grinding out decision win, but, Hill has really, changed upped her game, let's put it this way. And she came out with the TKO. I believe there's 30 seconds left in the second round. Good on her. We'll see where she goes moving forward. Hopefully she gets a top strawweight opponent, and we can actually see if she's grown, to be one of the top contenders in the strawweight division. Flyweights, don't die, guys. Please don't die. Alex Perez, Jordan Espinoza. This was actually a really freaking fun fight. I know it was really short. It only lasted 2.5 minutes. But Alex Perez and Jordan Espinoza really proved that they are in the upper echelon of the flyweight division. And this fight, if you guys hadn't seen it, you can go back and you need to see it. Alex Perez pulling off this pretty quick submission, realistically, if you think about it. Only 2.5 minutes. Nothing really, was able to develop in terms of an actual fight in 2.5 minutes. But with that being said, Perez came out and looked really good, got that takedown, and really pulled some nasty ground game on Espinoza. Props to him. Please, flyweights, don't die. I want to see where these guys go from here. I don't want them moving up to bantamweight because then they're just at a size disadvantage. Now, my predictions go to shit right here.
You suck.
The boy has no skills. You schooled by a little girl.
RDA, Michael Chiesa. RDA, man, what are you doing, brother? I have no idea. I can never call this guy's fights. He is so up and down. You just never know which RDA is going to come out. But Michael Chiesa really shut me up in terms of not thinking that he really had the technique or the skills to be able to compete with RDA, who's proven himself with some of the top welterweights in this, division. Michael Chiesa is obviously just coming in, so I didn't really see it, but Michael Chiesa shut me the hell up. I will not be overlooking him next time. Really interested to see who he fights next. I'm going to try and say Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That'd be a sick fight. That'd be sick. Welterweight fight. Michael Chiesa, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Calling it right here. You heard it first here, folks. 2020 MMA. And, of course, Curtis Blades, Junior Dos Santos. Curtis Blades shut me up. Shut everyone else up. Shut up analysts who said that his only way of winning was taking JDS down. Oh, my God. What a knockout. He proved that he can compete with some of the top boxers in the heavyweight division with this fight right here. Obviously he did knock out Overeem, but Overeem has been having a really susceptible chin as of late, ever since he got off the horse juice. Just kidding. But you know what I mean. JDS has, all this experience coming behind him. Curtis Blades has only lost to Ngannou. I don't know where Blades goes from here, but it'll be interesting to see these guys moving forward. Obviously, Stipe and DC are scheduled to fight next, so I don't know where Curtis Blades goes from here, especially because the one other guy above him in the standings has beat him twice already. So what do you do? I really don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And that's it. Take a look at some of the undercard fights here, just a list here. And of course, this is the main card results. Now, let's go to Bellator.
Let's get ready to rumble!
The first fight I did catch after watching Junior Dos Santos get knocked out was Sergio Pettis. And of course, Huracan. Oh my goodness. What a freaking embarrassing performance that was. Sergio looked like another type of beast altogether. I have never seen him do those kind of things. I just, wow. He, right from the get-go, it was attack, goes for the submission. Just, oh my goodness. What a freaking fight by Sergio Pettis. I was very impressed with his performance, and what a freaking submission. Great job in the feature fight. And moving on to the featherweight feature fight, it was Juan Archuleta and Henry Corrales. And you know what? I actually think Corrales should have won the fight. It wasn't too exciting. I think Juan could have done a lot more. He didn't look like the same fighter he was before he got his title shot with Patricio. Hopefully he changes it up a little bit, but he came out with the dub, so I'm sure he's happy. And the featherweight World Grand Prix quarterfinals, Darren Caldwell, a former bantamweight champion. Oh my goodness. What a submission over Adam Borics. I felt so freaking bad for Borics. I thought he was going to do a lot more. He looked like a completely different fighter in his first fight against Pat Curran. If you guys have seen the Pat Curran fight, you guys will know what I mean. It was like watching almost a completely different fighter. Caldwell, though, props to him. He came out really aggressive, forced the fight to Borics, and then once he got him on the ground, it was just, wow, what a great submission. Yeah, Caldwell is moving on to the semifinals, And actually, he's going to be fighting a sick fighter. We will be talking about that later on. I want to get into that preview later. I don't want to discuss that just yet. But our final fight of the night, Julia Budd versus Chris Cyborg. And Chris Cyborg makes history, becoming the first person, woman or male, to win a championship in 4 different major organizations. That is Invicta FC, the women's only MMA division. She was the Strikeforce champion before UFC bought them out. She was the UFC featherweight champion, and now she is the Bellator featherweight champion. I thought it was going to be in the 3rd round. She won it by 4th. And honestly, Julia Budd made it an interesting fight in the 1st round. But then, as it progressed, as I called it, Chris Cyborg's cardio has just not faltered. It just is so good. And the pressure she can put on you. And of course, mixed in with those power punches, those freaking cinder blocks of hands that she's got, it just makes for a bad freaking recipe. Julia Budd, props to her. She did last a lot longer than I thought she would, but eventually she succumbed to the blows, and Chris Cyborg ended up being a champion and getting another record on her belt. So congratulations to her. Awesome fight. Thank you for staying till the end of the video. If you guys like content like this and want more, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. It really helps me out. And take care. Have yourselves a great day. 2020, 1 and out.